What if I told you the phrase, "they're so mature for their age," isn't a compliment? It's often a hidden scar. It suggests something profoundly important, something essential, was stolen. We romanticize the old soul, the child who handles stress, manages finances, or provides emotional support to their parents. We call them resilient. But that's the myth. The reality is far more complex and far darker. This is the psychology of a child who grew up too fast. In the next 7 minutes, we're going to move beyond the surface-level idea of maturity and expose the inconvenient reality of what happens when the natural timeline of childhood is brutally accelerated. We'll reveal the lasting, verifiable psychological cost that most people, and other videos, simply fail to acknowledge. Let's start with the common perception, the myth. The myth is that these children are simply advanced, that their early exposure to adult responsibilities, whether it's managing a sick parent, caring for younger siblings, or navigating complex socioeconomic realities, has simply turbocharged their development. We believe it gives them a head start in life. That's the comforting narrative. The uncomfortable truth is documented and verifiable. According to recent studies on parentification, the process where a child takes on a parent-like role, this experience is now classified as an adverse childhood experience, AC. That's not advanced development. That's trauma. Expert analysis shows that rather than true emotional maturity, what we often see is instrumental competence, a set of learned behaviors or skills required to survive in an unpredictable environment. They've learned to file taxes, cook, or mediate an argument. But true emotional competence, the ability to identify, understand, and healthily process their own feelings, is often severely underdeveloped. Look at the data. Children who experience high levels of parentification often exhibit a hyper-vigilant state, not a calm one. They're constantly scanning their environment for problems to solve. This sustained state of stress, documented by neuroscience, directly impacts the developing prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for impulse control and long-term planning. They don't have a head start. They often have a developmental debt. This is the first reality we must accept. Now let's dive into the core mechanisms that sustain this reality. We'll analyze this from 3 compelling angles: the emotional vacuum, the identity collapse, and the cycle of resentment. Angle 1, the emotional vacuum. The essential job of a child is to receive care. When that role is flipped, the child's primary focus shifts from self-exploration and play to caregiving. This creates an emotional vacuum. They become brilliant at other people's emotions, but their own emotional needs are consistently dismissed, delayed, or deemed irrelevant in comparison to the family crisis. The why is simple. A parentified child believes their survival, or the family's stability, is contingent on their ability to suppress their personal needs. This doesn't vanish in adulthood. It resurfaces as chronic people-pleasing, a crippling fear of abandonment, and an inability to form healthy, interdependent relationships where they are comfortable receiving support. Consider the hypothetical case of a child, Sarah, who at 8 years old mediated emotional arguments between her parents. She grew up fast. Now, as an adult, Sarah is a successful manager, highly organized. Yet she cannot tolerate conflict in her own marriage, constantly sacrificing her own needs to maintain a manufactured peace. She's still the 8-year-old emotional peacekeeper. The system that created this reality was a family structure that outsourced its adult problems to a child. Angle 2, the identity collapse. A child develops a cohesive sense of self by engaging in age-appropriate activities and testing boundaries without catastrophic consequences. The accelerated child's identity is constructed around their utility, their function in the family. I am the one who fixes problems. I am the dependable one. When they try to move away from this caregiver identity in adulthood, they often experience a profound identity collapse. They don't know who they are without a crisis to manage. This reality exists because the family unit inadvertently rewarded function over selfhood, making the child's well-being secondary to the family's needs. Angle 3, the cycle of resentment. This is the truth nobody wants to discuss. The parentified child harbors deep, often subconscious resentment toward the parents who required them to give up their childhood. It's not a lack of love. It's a profound grief for the childhood they never had. This resentment can manifest years later as passive aggression, difficulty committing, or a compulsive need to sabotage their own success in an unconscious protest against the very adult responsibilities they were forced to adopt early. The psychology of a child who grew up too fast is not a testament to strength. It's a verifiable, long-term sacrifice of selfhood for survival. The reality we've uncovered is this: accelerated childhood creates competent adults who often struggle internally, carrying a perpetual backlog of unmet, suppressed emotional needs. The maturity you see is an adaptive mechanism, not a sign of true holistic development. This is the inconvenient truth you need to understand. Don't just share this video. Look around you. Look at the driven, overly responsible people in your life, the ones who can't relax. Ask yourself if you're seeing resilience or the scars of a stolen childhood. It's time to apply this truth. If you recognize these patterns in yourself or someone you love, the call to action isn't to work harder. It's to finally give that inner child permission to stop being the adult, to grieve the loss and seek help in learning how to receive care. The truth is the first step toward healing. Now it's up to you to face it. Let me know your perspective in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more reality-based investigations.